Okay, real talk in this video. If you want to sell anything online, whether it's digital products, courses, one-to-one mentorship, coaching, it doesn't matter. There is such an important piece and element that so many people miss, and it's why they quit. And it goes along with what we talked about before with creating that mission statement, that very clear, I help who with what so they can get blank. That mission statement video is here. Check it out if you haven't already. We're going to move into the next important piece is understanding who you are talking to, your target audience, so deeply, like you're talking to your best friend, that when you show up to market whatever it is you are selling, they feel like you are talking directly to them. They feel like you're inside their head. And they come to you and they're like, how did you know that's how I was feeling? How did you know this is what I needed? Please, I want to buy your services immediately. So we're going to break down how to understand our target audience. If you haven't created a product yet and you are brand new to this industry, I'm just going to be probably the most honest coach with you ever. Selling is a huge part of your business. Selling is your business, but we don't have to think of selling as selling. We think of it as helping. And I actually have a free guide. It's a PDF to walk you through how to make selling easier for yourself. So you can grab that in the description below. For now, we are going to focus on how we can show up every single day for our target audience to serve them so that it feels easy to sell our products. So the number one reason why people feel stuck and they're not making progress and not making sales in this space is they feel like they need to talk to everyone. But the truth is, when you talk to everyone, you end up talking to no one because nobody truly resonates deep down with what you're saying because it's so generic and generalized and surface level that people are like, oh, I'm not really sure if that's for me. So what I'm going to walk you through in this video is just taking you back to the basics. Inside my Kootenay Mom Life Community, we have a whole workbook around identifying your target audience and creating messaging for that makes sales so much easier. And oftentimes I remind my students, we got to go back to the basics, you guys. Let's keep bringing it back to the basics. And I do this with my own business as well when I feel like I'm getting lost in the messaging online and my messaging just isn't resonating with the people I want it to resonate with. Now, like we talked about with our mission statement, you can also change this. This grows and adapts with you and your business as you are growing and adapting as well. Because your business was created from your experiences, your knowledge, or your skills. It is something that you have lived through. The main person that you are talking to is your past self. And if that doesn't resonate with you and you're selling somebody else's product and struggling to sell it, that could be why, because you haven't experienced it. It's very hard to market something that you don't have experience in. You know what this person needs because you have already lived through it. When thinking about your mission statement, what you've been through, how you're going to help people, there's a few questions I want you to ask yourself to help you identify your target audience. Who were you before you figured things out? Who were you? How were you feeling? How were you getting up? What were your habits? Before you figured out the solution to whatever problem you were facing in life, whether it was navigating a divorce, figuring out how to make sourdough from home, or just setting goals that you actually followed through on, what was keeping you stuck? What was the roadblock preventing you from having that success fast? The other question I want you to ask yourself is, what did you believe about yourself and the future? Were there ever moments where you just felt stuck and you were like, I can't do this. I'm never going to reach this goal. I'm never going to figure this out. Why does my bread keep falling apart? If it helps, you can give your past self a name. Burned out Becky, burn the bread Brenda, anxious Annie, whatever it is you were helping with people with, you can give yourself a little bit of an avatar to have an outside perspective looking in on, wow, that's really where I was in that moment. And that is the first step to understanding where your audience is now. Before I go on, I want to clarify that we are not doing pain point marketing because honestly, it doesn't work. It will work eventually, but what you're doing is making people feel bad about the pain or what they're struggling with over and over again. You're like driving it home to them. Then eventually you convince them to invest. What we want to do is desire marketing. So we really want to understand our target audience from the pain to the desire, because people that are in the desire area have already had their I'm done moment and they're already ready to invest. They want the solution now. It speeds up from the time that you launch your product to making that first sale. I know what you might be thinking. I'm not really an expert in that topic. You don't need to be an expert. You need to be a few steps ahead of your past self. It could be a few months ahead of your past self. Maybe you discovered this crazy workout plan that has helped you shed pounds. You've been trying to lose weight for 10 years, and in 3 months, you were able to accomplish all of your weight loss goals. It can be as simple as that, or you can just be a few years of something. You can have gone through something and come out on the other side. Please do not get mixed up in thinking that you need to be an expert in this. That is just a socially ingrained idea that we were taught since childhood, especially if you went through the public school system, that you needed some sort of certification. The next piece to understanding your target audience, and a lot of beginners get this wrong, is you're not selling your product, you are selling the transformation that your product offers. This can get very confusing because you create this wonderful product and you want to talk about your product, but it doesn't download with people in the way that you hope it would, because what people want is not what you've created. They want the outcome that you've offered, the experience that you've been through and coming out on the other side. They want that, and they want it faster than what you had to go through to get it. What was one painful thing in the process of learning that you needed help with? What kept you up at night trying to figure out how it was going to work? What did you hate admitting to others? Perhaps you're somebody in the topic or niche of helping people budget or helping people come out of debt. Were your finances keeping you up at night? Were you stuck trying to figure out how to afford and pay for all of your bills? These are pain points that your audience is experiencing right now. Then I want you to dig deeper. What is the emotion that ties into? What is the emotional cost of not resolving the issue that your target audience is facing? Here's a really good example. She's not just lacking confidence. She's waking up in the morning, crying in the shower, dreading leaving the house and going to the job that she hates. We really want to understand what their moments look like, their day to day. How are they feeling? How are they functioning? Then we start to bridge the gap with our product. I want to reiterate the importance of understanding your audience's pain point, not so that we are like digging it into them and like talking about their pain point nonstop, but so you can understand where they are. Reconnect, get back to that place where you were and understand the struggle and why it's so difficult sometimes to see that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. This will help you not only have empathy and compassion for your people, but when you show up to sell your product, you're not going to be pushing it down their throat because you're going to hold space for them, and that is going to make the sales come in. If your marketing strategy is social media, which is what I use and what I teach, then you want to be showing up and building a community where people are like, wow, she really gets me. She really understands where I am today and how I'm feeling, and her content made me feel a little bit better. It made me feel hopeful. It made me feel inspired. It made me feel like I can get out of whatever problem I am facing. Some questions to ask yourself when you're bridging the gap between their current state, coming into your space and purchasing your product. What small wins are inside your product that helped you move out of that stuck mode, that stuck feeling like there was no solution or just not understanding what the next steps were going to be? Also, understanding their objections. What hesitations did you have? What were moments that came up? Oh, that's probably not going to work. I would love to use the fitness niche for this example because it is so prevalent that people don't believe that they're capable, because a lot of people have tried. Oh, I did. I walked 5K every single day and I didn't lose a single pound. We have to understand what their internal objections might be, because we are going to use their internal objections in our marketing strategy. We are going to say things like 6 weeks to tone defined abs without sacrificing good food or going into a calorie deficit. Those are objections they might have. Oh, I don't know, I've tried this before and all I ate was salad and I don't like eating salad. We have to understand those objections before so that we address them in our marketing, so that you're not going back and forth having conversations, or worse, they never even get into your DMs because they really don't think it's going to work. We also need to understand their external objections. So things outside of themselves, like having no time, no money, no room to invest. And we need to inspire them on why those are things that they can control and change. Why those are not actually things that will block them from meeting their goals. Your job in your marketing and your products is to remove those excuses before they even have a chance to come up. After bridging the gap, you are going to map out the transformation for your target audience. So when she says yes, What is she saying yes to? What result are you going to help her get? We understand where she's coming from, but where are we taking her? That is going to be the messaging. A great way to understand that is, what does she complain about to her friends? In my niche, people are complaining about not having money, not being able to contribute to income, not being able to afford inflation. Those are the things that people are complaining about. So the transformation that they want is, they want to have income in their bank account. They want to be able to earn, make impact online. They want to wake up in the morning and look at their bank account and be like, oh, overflow. They want to go to the grocery store and never have to look at a price tag again. That is the transformation they want. Their objections are that they don't have time, they don't have money to invest, that it won't work, the fear of failure. We are going to address all those things, but the transformation has to be stronger than the pain point. Once you understand your target audience so deeply, and again, we're just talking to one person, I want you to bring it back to your digital product and hone in on the fact that you are only solving one problem. Perhaps her transformation takes more steps and there's more problems to solve. You are going to focus on the full transformation outcome, but you are going to focus on solving it one problem at a time. This is what I call your customer's journey. And I help you inside Kootenay Mom Life map out your customer's timeline so that when you create one product, it meets them where they're at. But as they grow through that phase, we have the next products lined up. It's beautiful because you never have to worry about creating income again, because we map out your customer's journey so well. And honestly, people who buy from you once are more likely to buy from you again. They will be your ride or die girls. They will purchase everything that you put out there because you understand them so deeply. You connect with them. You've built a community around them that they will literally buy anything you sell. I want to do a quick summary. We covered a lot in this video. Your past self is your ideal customer. You are speaking to yourself a few months ago, a year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. That is your customer, your past self, the things that you have lived through, your experiences, your skills, your passions, everything. In this, understanding her pain, her beliefs, her struggles, her objections is very important. Selling means solving a real problem. Selling is helping. You are showing up and telling them that you understand what they're going through. You understand their problem, and this is how you are going to solve it. This is the outcome you are going to provide with your product. Identify a small, simple win for your customer. They don't want the whole buffet. That will be overwhelming to them. They want a quick solution to their problem. If you try to offer them all of your ideas at once and you give them a 200-page PDF, they are not going to be successful with it. You are not going to get positive testimonials because they are going to start it, not finish it, and then they're going to develop more objections because they're going to say, it didn't work, I tried, but it was just too much. So focus on solving one problem, and we can map out the customer journey later, especially if you're inside Kootenay Mom Life. You understand their pain point. You offer the transformation, what they truly desire, what they wake up every day wanting, wishing, hoping that they could have. Your product is what bridges that gap. Get very clear on the result you are going to help your customer achieve, and talk exactly to that transformation, not about your product. Content is how you sell, showing up to sell, but you have to remember it is deeply personal. You are talking to somebody as if you were going and meeting up with somebody for coffee and speaking directly to them. That is how you market and message for your customers. I want to give you a little bit of homework. I want you to write either a story or record a video or write it in a blog or throw it into ChatGPT, just a message to your past self. Hey girl, you are really struggling at this time in life, and go deeply into the pain point, go deeply into understanding what they're going through, the day-to-day, what it looks like, and then tell them where you are now. Talk about how it feels. This is going to help you understand their pain point and the transformation, and then you're going to go back to your product. And if you don't have a digital product idea, you definitely need to dive into my free digital product blueprint training. You'll come out with 5 to 10 different ideas based off your experiences. If you want to start earning income online, it starts here. It doesn't require fancy websites, funnels, and all that other jazz. Go through my YouTube videos. If you are ready to take action, you want step-by-step guidance and support, you want to fast track your success, then consider checking out my Kootenay Mom Life Community. As always, I have unwavering belief in your potential, and I wish you nothing but success.